Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Isabel Wong.
And I'm Edna. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Man shot by police in Shamshopo station after he threatens officer with a cutter.
Democrats take control of the U.S. House while Republicans hold the Senate.
And subcontractor accused of trying to mislead probe into Hong Kong station saga.
In a rare occurrence in Hong Kong, a man was shot by police after he swung a cutter at an officer.
The suspect was critically injured. The incident happened at Shamshopo MTR station during the morning rush. Karen Young reports.
A critically injured man was loaded onto an ambulance and sent to Princess Margaret Hospital after he was shot by police in Shamshopo station this morning. A policewoman opened fire after he drew a cutter on her. He suffered a gunshot wound to his left abdomen. The 5-year veteran policewoman, who had joined the tactical unit 6 months ago, left the station accompanied by her colleagues. An investigation into the shooting began soon after it happened. The incident happened at about 7:40 a.m. on the concourse of the station, near the exit to Fuk Wah Street. The policewoman and her partner were on patrol at the station when they intercepted the suspicious man. The man then took out a 15-centimeter-long cutter from his backpack and swung it at the policewoman. Despite repeated verbal warnings, the man didn't stop. The policewoman then shot him. The divisional commander of Shamshopo Division stressed that the officer assessed the situation before shooting the man in a crowded MTR station during the morning rush.
They were under the threat of life. The male was using a life-threatening sharp-edged weapon to try to attack the officers at scene. The officers at scene has considered the situation before she opened fire. She had, considered whether she had the opportunity to hit the target before she actually opened fire in this case.
Chow said the man was a Hong Kong identity card holder, and police were still looking into his motive for attacking the officer. Sources have said that even after the 55-year-old suspect was subdued, he was still trying to get his cutter. The sources added that the man was a construction worker, and police found a check on him for more than $10,000 from a construction company. He has no record of mental illness, but he was jailed for 7 days in 2013 for assaulting police, according to sources. Part of the station concourse was cordoned off for the investigation, but train services remained unaffected and all exits were open. Karen Young, HKIBC.
The U.S. midterm congressional elections saw the Democratic Party take control of the House of Representatives, while the Republicans expanded their majority in the Senate. Democrats have won 222 seats in the House of Representatives, surpassing the 218 needed to control the lower chamber. Republicans have secured 199 seats. Meanwhile, the GOP tightened its grip on the U.S. Senate, capturing 51 seats so far, while Democrats secured 45 seats. Seher Asaf has more on the elections.
Tomorrow will be a new day in America. Remember this feeling.
The U.S. Democratic Party have taken control of the House of Representatives following the most hotly contested midterm congressional election in decades. The Senate, on the other hand, proved to be an uphill battle for the Democrats. The Republican Party tightened its grip on the upper house by expanding its majority. Key gains for Republicans came in the U.S. states of Indiana, Missouri, and North Dakota, which saw Democrat incumbents unseated. Appearing upbeat, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders spoke to a crowd of reporters outside the White House after early results began to trickle in.
The president's agenda isn't going to change regardless of whose party is there. We're still going to be...
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump took to Twitter to offer his thoughts. "Tremendous success tonight. Thank you all," he tweeted. While Democrats seized key states early in the election, their hopes of a so-called blue wave in both chambers turned out to be more of a ripple. They lost several Senate races, including in a closely watched match in Texas, where rising political star Robert Francis O'Rourke, also known as Beto, lost to Republican Ted Cruz.
This is a victory for the single mom who's been waiting tables, who suddenly sees her wages going up because the economy is booming.
O'Rourke was among a string of celebrity-endorsed Democrats that ended up losing in the high-stakes election. Others included Oprah-backed Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, who has refused to concede, Florida gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum, and Senate candidate Phil Bredesen. There were some firsts in the election. Voters sent in a record number of women to the House. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez could become the youngest member elected to Congress. Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are the first Muslim women to be elected to Congress. While the election brought a record number of voters, they faced long lines across the country, as well as malfunctioning voting equipment and polling places unexpectedly closed. Smartphone videos showed long lines at some New York polling, as voters complained of broken ballots. Today's results are expected to reshape U.S. policy. The newly empowered Democrats will have more leverage to investigate Trump's 2016 campaign for alleged links to Russia, purported business conflicts of interest, and his finances. The Democrats' victory could also scale back some of the U.S. president's proposed policies, possibly even stalling plans to build a wall on the southern border with Mexico and policies on trade. But Republicans' control of the Senate could frustrate efforts to challenge Trump's governing agenda. Sahara Saf, HKIBC.
The chairman of the Commission of Inquiry into Shoddy Steelwork and Hong Kong Station has slammed as a contractor for trying to mislead the probe.
Poon Wai Shan gave different versions of when he found out about the steel bar cutting incident. Karen Yang reports.